What is good, everyone? Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be explaining a few things that I have come to really care about and put a great amount of importance on, having lived in Japan as long as I have. Let's talk about it. Now, if you follow my channel, you may know that I've done a video somewhat similar to this where I talk about things that I've come to appreciate as a result of living in Japan. But this one is a little bit different because it really is focusing on things that I've put a lot of importance on having lived here, meaning that I really care about them and wouldn't probably be able to change my habits even going forward into the future. The first example is general cleanliness and care in regards to what comes in from the outside. Now, everyone knows the famous take your shoes off when you enter a Japanese home rule. That rule is well known, and that's not going to surprise anyone. But for me, and for Japanese people in general, it goes well beyond just shoes. If you have shopping bags, which like I'm carrying right now, you take great care not to put them on the ground, especially in places where there's a lot of foot traffic, like bus stations or train platforms, that sort of thing. Because the idea is the same as your shoes, they're going to pick up dust, mud, germs, viruses, and dog poo, whatever has been in that spot. And so you don't want to just put that on the ground and then end up bringing it into your home, setting it on your kitchen counter, setting it on your kitchen table, or throwing it onto your bed. So when I get home, if I know I put a bag on the ground, I will just carry it into my kitchen and put it on the floor of the kitchen and basically clean that spot afterwards. So yeah, a general fastidiousness about what goes outside has to come back into the house either clean or it doesn't come back into the house. An example of that would be children's toys that are used outside. When I was a kid, I'd play out in the neighborhood with a football, and the neighborhood kids, we'd play football in the backyard, and I'd probably on many occasions bring that football right into the house and continue messing around with it in the living room. So not the case in Japan. Outdoor things are not going to make it past the genkan, or the front hallway where you take off your shoes. Outdoor toys are for outside. They're not coming in. The second thing that I've really come to care about and find a lot of importance in is whether or not you've hit the like button and subscribed to my channel yet. You see, it's something that I've really come to care about since I moved to Japan and started a YouTube channel. So if you haven't hit like already, please do so, and subscribe if you haven't. Most of you aren't. I know that only 9% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed, so please fix that. I would greatly appreciate it. Moving on to the real next thing that has become of great importance to me and that I actually care about having lived in Japan all this time, and that is providing good quality snacks and treats for any manner of guests that might come to my home. What I mean by this is actually going to a genuine Japanese sweets shop or wagashi shop and getting really nice sweets, or having something on hand that basically isn't just the cheapest thing from the supermarket, or when a guest comes over, you think, okay, I've got these rice crackers and this half-eaten box of cookies, here you go. No, it's actually taking the care to have something decent to serve guests that might be family members, neighbors, or even people who are just coming to provide a service for you in your home. Like, I remember watching my mother-in-law serve really fancy treats and tea to an insurance salesman, because an insurance salesman, that kind of conversation is going to take 30 minutes to an hour or even more. So You want to serve something that is going to be enjoyed by the people at the table. And I remember when we were having our yard basically created, the landscapers were creating the yard after we built our house. And every day they would take a tea coffee break, and we would take out coffee to them and a different variety of sweets and snacks, usually a mix of salty and sweet, for them to enjoy with some coffee during their break time. And that was just kind of a matter of course. So providing decent snacks presented well is something that's important to me now. And what I mean by presented well, it's not just taking the package and throwing it in front of the guests and saying help yourself. It's actually putting it on a nice tray or putting it in some bowls so that it looks nice and presentable. So it's basically taking the care to show that you care and that you're actually trying to be a generous and good host, to put it simply. And to be honest, the reason why I even thought of this example of something that I've come to care about was because I noticed it when I was watching another Japan YouTuber's video who was interviewing some guests for their topic that they were working on. And the guests were seated around a table, and in the middle of the table there was a bag of rice crackers and a box of cookies. And they were literally the cheapest and most commonly found rice crackers and cookies you can get in any supermarket, any convenience store, anywhere in Japan, and they cost like $2 for a package. 200 yen, something like that. And I remember seeing that and I was thinking, wow, you are really just kind of going half-assed with the treats for the people who are helping you make this video. And I don't mean to call this Japan YouTuber out or anything like that, but it's just an example of how I had a really strong reaction when I saw this and thought, wow, you're really not treating your guests, the people who are helping you put this video together, you're not treating them in anything better than kind of a half-assed way, or tekito way. It's kind of dasai also to just throw them out in the package like that. I mean, at least put them in a nice bowl or arrange them on a tray or something. But I guess, I don't know. I mean, I have to admit, if I was still in America, I wouldn't care. I mean, and I don't think Americans will generally care. They're not gonna mind if you put out some snacks and they're not arranged nicely. So it's definitely something that I've taken on as a result of having lived in Japan all these years. The final item that I've really come to care about and put great importance on as a result of living in Japan, maybe not so Japan specific. This is probably something you can find in other countries as well, just not in North America, I feel. And that is really paying attention to seasonality. Now, I've talked about this in a couple of previous videos, but the Japanese kind of have a culturally baked in appreciation of the different seasons. I mean, as I'm walking along here, you can see the sakura blossoms behind me, and this spring season brings with it its own spring ingredients and foods that are meant to be enjoyed at this time of year, and also decorations, decor that will change with the seasons. And part of this goes back to the snacks I was just talking about. If you want to impress Japanese guests, put out a snack and some treats that are appropriate for the season in which the guest is visiting you. They will notice and will probably even comment, oh, you know Japanese culture well. You've put out something that is for this season. Nice job. And you can feel warm and fuzzy. You've gotten some points and shown that you have some sensitivity to the culture and the sense of seasons yourself. It's not just food though, it's also decor and decorations. If you stay at a really fancy hotel in Japan or go to a really nice Japanese style restaurant, they will change the paintings on the walls, for example. They will change the general ambiance. If the restaurant serves some nice trays and plates of food, they might put For example, red maple leaves on your plate if it's autumn, just as decoration. And it's these little touches that show the sensitivity to the seasons. If you've watched some of my past videos where I film in my Japanese style room that's in my house, you might notice that the painting behind me in the alcove changes from time to time. When I was filming around January, New Year's, there was a painting of koi or carp behind me, and they are a symbol of longevity and fortune, which are appropriate New Year's themes. And then right now I have a painting of a bird in a tree branch with plum blossoms, which is appropriate for this spring season. And soon I will change that to a painting of irises, which come into bloom in May and June. And again, I won some points and felt really proud of myself one time when I was in a antique shop in Kamakura, and I was talking to the proprietor about paintings, and I wanted to pick up some items for that alcove, which is called tokonoma in Japanese. And she asked if I had a picture of it, to help find something that was appropriate. And I showed her a picture I had just taken a week or so before. It was the month of June, and she saw the painting I had up of the irises, and she said, "Well, very nicely done. This is an appropriate painting for right now." And I felt pretty good that an actual expert in this sort of thing praised me, or at least pointed out that I was doing it right. So paying attention to seasonal ingredients in food and seasonal decor. I mean, I know in America we pay attention to things like Christmas and Halloween in terms of decorations, but that's more holiday related and not necessarily decorating and preparing foods that are specifically seasonal. I mean, Japan goes into wild detail. This is the country that's famous for having one day in July. One day in July. That's the best day of the entire year to eat eel. So there you go, a single day that is singled out for the consuming of eel. It's like, that's the best day, it's the best season for it. Okay. I don't maybe take it to that extreme in my life, but I have come to really care about it and enjoy that part of Japanese life. All right. What do you think? Do you live in a foreign country and you've come to care about some things that you maybe never would have if you'd stayed in your home country? Comment, join the conversation below. Let me know what you think of the ones I pointed out. If you live in Japan, do you agree or disagree with any of these? Let us know. Remember to hit like if you haven't done so. If you've made it this far in the video and you haven't done it, come on. And subscribe if you haven't already. I put out a new video every single Friday about Japan, lifestyle, culture, and society. So please look for my past content. And I want to thank you very much for watching this video. I will catch you next week. Peace.